Hey guys, so today we are going to create absolute value answers. We have the answers already given to us, and we're going to make our equations fit so that we get these answers. So we're kind of going to go backwards, which is really cool. So we're going to make a one solution, a no solution, and two solution problems. Remember, a one solution is when your absolute value equals 0. That's a one solution. A no solution is when your absolute value equals a negative number of some sort, like negative 18. And a two solution is when your absolute value equals some sort of positive number. And yeah, so that's what we want. So like on number 1, see how it has our absolute value and there's a blank here? Well, I want a one solution. So one solution has to equal 0, so 0 is the only answer that would fit. Some of these have more than one option. Number 2, a no solution. No solution would have to be some sort of negative number, like negative 5. And then number 3, a two solution would have to be some sort of positive number, like 15 or 1,000 or whatever you wanted. Number 4 is a little different because when we're talking about how many solutions, we're talking about outside of the absolute value or when the absolute value is by itself. So this is already correct. 1 equals a 2 solution, so this really doesn't matter. We can put whatever number we want to in there. Now notice that the letter is in front, so whatever number you put in here needs to have a symbol next to it or a sign, so like -7 or +11, whatever you wanted to put right here. But on the inside will not affect how many solutions it has. The same thing happens on number 5. Once we get down to problems like number 8 though, what we want to do is we want to put a number in front of our absolute value where we need to combine that with our 11 to get a one solution. So you have to think about what a one solution is. A one solution is when your absolute value is alone and equals 0. Well, how do I make 11 equal 0? Well, I'd have to minus 11 to make 11 equal 0. So if I minus 11 from this side, I'd also have to minus 11 from this side, which would mean I'd have to do the opposite, so I'd have to have a positive 11 here. So you have to think backwards while you're creating and writing in your answers. Again, you can have some different answers sometimes, but since we're going for a one solution and it has to be equal to 0, the only way to do that is have the same number on each side if we're adding and subtracting. Okay. Let's look at number 9. So on number 9, we want to make a no solution. In order to make a no solution, well, we have to think about what a no solution is. So a no solution is when our absolute value equals a negative number. Okay? So if I want this answer to be a negative number, I have to think about what's happening here. Well, in order to get this absolute value away or by itself, I would have to divide by our 7, and I'd have to do the same on that side. So I want this to be negative, and it wouldn't really matter what I put in here as far as what type, but I'd have to put some sort of negative number. Now we're not looking for you to continue to solve them, and we're not looking for the final answer, but just kind of check. If I had negative 21 and I divided it by negative 7, or by positive 7, that would give me negative 3, which would be a no solution. If I put a positive 21 here and divided it by 7, that would give me a positive 3, which would be a 2 solution, so we don't want that. We want to have a negative number in our box. Okay, let's see. Number 14. Okay, so I have my absolute value. I want to get a no solution. So remember, a no solution is when we have a negative on this outside. So I need to think about something that will go right here. Now, it is a plus sign there, so in order to move it to the opposite side, I would have to subtract from it. So let's just say I put a 2. Okay, well, if I subtracted 5 from 2, that will give me a 3. A 3 isn't a no solution. A 3 is a positive number, and it's a 2 solution. So 2 is a little too small. If we did anything bigger than 5, like 12, and we subtracted 12 on each side, 5 minus 12 is not 3. Hold on, sorry. 5 minus 12 is negative 7. So negative 7 would be a no solution and would be a correct answer. If you look at a problem like number 18, so on number 18, we want a 1 solution. So 1 solution means that our answer needs to equal 0. Okay, so we have 2 steps this time. We need to put some sort of number here, and then we're going to have to divide by 3, and that will give us a 1 solution. So we're trying to get to 0. So the only way to get to 0 when you're multiplying or dividing is to divide 0 by any number. So what we can do is in this box right here, we can put a positive 33, which is the same number as this, which when I subtract 33 on both sides, that will give me 0. So then I would divide by 3, and I would have my 0 divided by 3, which would also equal 0, which is a 1 solution. So I'd want to put a positive 33 in this box to make a 1 solution. Okay, it's the same idea like on number 20. We don't really care about the junk that's happening inside. But what we want is we want a 2 solution. So we need to think about what that looks like for an answer. So for a 2 solution answer, we have to have a positive number. So we are also dividing, but we're dividing by a positive, and I know a positive divided by a positive is always going to give me a positive. So we're good there. So we just can't make this guy, if we made it a negative, we couldn't make it too small or too big of a negative. So we're just going to leave it as a plus and put whatever number you want to in there. 9. If I add 9 to 65 and then I divide it by positive 2, I'll still get a positive number. It'll be a decimal, but we'll still have 2 solutions. Let's look at number 19. On number 19, we are trying to figure out what could go here that would give me a 1 solution. So 1 solution has to be 0. That one's a little bit more of a giveaway. And then let's look at 17. So on 17, we need a 2 solution. So a 2 solution answer needs to make sure that it's a positive. So like positive 24. On 15, we want a 2 solution. And we know that 2 solutions need to have positive answers. So that means whatever I put here needs to multiply with 3 and give me a positive number. The only thing that won't work is the negative number. So we're going to keep it like as a positive 4. And 4 times 3 would be 12, which would be positive, and 2 solutions. Okay? All right. If you have any more questions, let your teacher know. Hope that this helps. Have a great day, guys. Bye.